Well, it has happened again. President Biden is going to be sending another aid package to Ukraine. This one is going to cost upwards of $700 million. And in fact, he is going to be sending long-range, multiple launch rocket systems over to Ukraine. And this right here has really angered Russia to the point where they are now threatening the United States. We're going to talk about that in today's video. We're also going to talk about how, according to the United Nations, the world has about 61 days left of food. And they are predicting that mass starvation will occur for more than 10 million people. They're also predicting that prolonged hunger will occur for hundreds of millions of people. And as a result of what is going on, I want to share 6 essential foods that you should be stocking up with right now. And lastly, we're going to talk about what our Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said and how she admitted that she was wrong about inflation and really what this means moving forward. So, if you can do me a favor, if you enjoy these daily uploads, go ahead, hit that like button. Let's get right down into the update for today, June 1st. So again, happy June. So here's what I can tell you. And let's talk about Russia for a second. Let's talk about what's going on and why Russia is so upset with the United States at the moment. Because according to President Biden, he says he will provide the Ukrainians with more advanced rocket systems and munitions that will enable them to more precisely strike key targets on the battlefield in Ukraine. Now, the key word here is Ukraine, that it will be in Ukraine. Well, President Biden's National Security Council, they said longer range, multiple launch rocket systems are capable of reaching Russia, but they're not intended to fire rockets into Russia or be used outside of Ukraine. Just so you know, these rockets can be fired at targets that are at least 50 miles away. That's where Russian officials are telling us that that's why they are worried, is because now they are close enough to Russia that they can hit key targets. So we'll see. Now, what we've been told is that Ukraine has been begging the United States for these rockets for over a month now. For over a month. But officials were worried that the amount of training that it would be involved to use these would be too much. Now they're saying, we can train you. Now what we're being told is U.S. troops will head to a place outside of Ukraine. We don't know exactly where, but they will head to a place outside of Ukraine to teach Ukrainian troops how to operate the rocket system. Now, according to Pentagon officials, this is going to take anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks to learn, and there will be further, training sessions where they will learn how to do maintenance on the rocket. So, we'll see what happens there and how quickly these will get up and running. Now, even though the rocket systems are not even on their way yet, Russian officials aren't happy. And even a Kremlin spokesperson said today, this morning, they said that we believe the United States is purposely and diligently adding fuel to the fire. Now, that's not what we want to see. We don't want to see that, okay, we're going to add fuel to this fire and see what happens from there. Well, when this spokesperson was asked how Russia would respond if Ukraine used these rockets to strike Russian territory, the spokesperson said, let's not talk about worst case scenarios. That's not something that I want to hear is, okay, I don't even want to talk about worst case scenarios because that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, this is exactly what we were warned about months ago, is don't overstep. So again, the United States and the people are being threatened due to our involvement into a war between Russia and Ukraine that we are not necessarily in. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I thought that was very important to share because what is now going on is we're going to send, hundreds of millions of dollars in equipment over to Ukraine. They have the ability to attack Russia, but the understanding from President Biden is that's not what they're going to use it for. So we'll see. Now, I do want to talk about a food shortage. I know a lot of you guys are telling me, I get it. I know there's a shortage, but we haven't seen it. So I think it's just not coming, or it passed. Well, here's what we are now being told. According to the United Nations, they say we only have 70 days left of wheat, okay, or really our food supply. Well, keep in mind that this was told to us on May 23rd. That's May 23rd. Today is June 1st, okay? So now we really only have about 61 days left of our supply. This is what is causing many people to worry. Again, this is turning into a real issue because most of the problems are not because of Russia and Ukraine. And this is what I think so many people are misunderstanding, is that this is a new shortage. This isn't a new shortage. This is an existing shortage that has been around for quite some time. Now, yes, Russia is blocking Ukraine from exporting, I believe, about 20 metric tons, 20 million metric tons or something like that of grain. This is obviously causing a huge shortage and the shortages to just grow, but this isn't everything. What we know is that we started to see these shortages begin really in the summer of 2021 is really when they started, and then it amplified in the fall. You may have seen reports that, oh, get your turkeys because we're going to have a shortage of turkeys. We did. Or make sure you get your bread crumbles for your stuffing because there's going to be a shortage. There was. Or make sure you buy your beer because there was a shortage of grain. Well, there was. Well, these shortages have been going on for quite some time. We knew this. And a lot of these, according to experts, were because of fertilizer shortages. And when we saw a shortage of fertilizer, this meant that grains were harder to grow. Okay, we didn't have as much upside potential. Okay. We knew the supply chain disruptions would make things even more difficult, which they did. And then you throw in the record drought that we've seen all across the world. This is only putting us into a bigger crisis. And then now countries are, even like India, have banned wheat exports as a way to limit the prices in their country. Because if you don't ban exports and you continue to export products and make profit, which is great, the problem is the people of the country have a lot less supply. And when the demand is still high but supply is low, prices are going to be elevated. That's exactly what's happening here in the United States in many instances. But this is why the UN says that 10 million people are at risk of starvation. This is serious starvation. They have nothing to eat. But they also say hundreds of millions of people around the country, around the globe actually, are at risk of prolonged hunger. So not as bad as starvation, but they will go hungry for multiple days. And so this is why I want to give you a list of what experts are saying is what you need to stock up on right now. Now, there's two things that you need to stock up on that I've been telling you guys for probably about 2 months. Those are eggs and chicken, specifically frozen chicken. Now, whether you decide to buy fresh chicken and freeze it, or you buy prepackaged frozen chicken like from a bag in Costco, that's fine. But buy eggs and chicken. The reason for these is simple. There is the bird flu. The bird flu has killed off a massive amount of chickens and poultry. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And if we don't have that, if we don't have chickens laying eggs, well, how do we get eggs? You need chickens to lay them. So this is why you are supposed to stock up on eggs and chicken. Those are the first two. Next one is vegetables. Again, they can be fresh or they can be frozen. If you buy them fresh, experts say to freeze them so that you can preserve them and eat them later. But you can also buy frozen. It's really up to you. Just get whatever you can. They also say buy cooking oils. This is going to provide you with some fats, okay, which you need to survive. Buy bread. And I've done this in the past. I still do this, is where you go to the store and let's say you buy 3 loaves of bread. You only need 1. You put the other 2 in the freezer. Okay? You preserve them for a little bit longer. The next one is meat. Buy meat. Ground beef, you can buy pork, you can buy whatever you want to buy, right? You can buy all this stuff, buy meat, okay? Again, gives you some protein. These are the 6 items that experts say you need to stock up on right now, not because they're going to see a shortage of all these things. Yes, eggs and frozen chicken, or just chicken in general, and meats, yeah, we're seeing that. Vegetables, a little bit, we are seeing shortages there, especially on fresh stuff, okay? We're also seeing shortages of cooking oils. A lot of it's coming from, Ukraine and stuff like that. The other issue is, some countries have banned oils. They are not exporting oils and cooking oils. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, and again, bread, wheat, grains, right? That whole issue. So again, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and this is why many people are saying we have to be prepared. And this is why I've been telling you guys this: be prepared, because this is what we are expecting to happen very soon. So the next thing I want to talk about is how our Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen admitted that she was wrong about inflation. She said, "I think I was wrong about the path that inflation would take." And now initially she said that inflation, it wouldn't be a problem. No big deal, right? Inflation's not being an issue. But then once she started to really push that inflation is the problem, we need to get more help to the American people. We need to get money into their hands, right? Into our hands. Well, she helped push to get the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan passed into law. Now, this is what many people say was the straw that broke the camel's back and accelerated inflation. Now, do I believe the $1.9 trillion did contribute negatively to our higher inflation? Yes, I do. But is this the only reason? No, it's not. But what Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told CNN yesterday, she had this to say, and I quote, "As I mentioned, there have been unanticipated and large shocks to the economy that boosted energy and food prices and supply bottlenecks that have affected our economy badly that I, at the time, didn't fully understand, but we recognize that now." So this is the problem that we are looking at, and she's the Treasury Secretary of the United States of America. So she is saying that the supply bottlenecks, okay, that affected our economy badly, that at the time she didn't fully understand. This is why, experts are called experts, is because they understand what's going on. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, I don't think she was an expert. She was an official, okay? She was an appointed official. She's not necessarily an expert. But what has a lot of people talking, and this is what many people have been saying all along, is nobody knows what really is going on. Nobody knows what they're doing or what to expect. This is why, even though I want to believe that inflation won't be an even greater problem than it is right now, I also want to be prepared just in case these people are wrong. Because again, these are not experts. When I say experts say or experts recommend, these are people that are actually in the field, okay? Not an appointed official that is not necessarily an expert. Now, because we are seeing this, right? We know this. We are seeing food prices continue to climb, right? And they're insane right now. We're seeing gas prices, they go up. Currently, they're $4.67 a gallon, which is just incredible. But then at the same time, what we know is a month ago, gas prices were only $4.18. So again, they keep going up. But experts are telling us they can see gas prices reaching $5 a gallon. And this is looking more and more like a real possibility. So again, this is what's happening right now. Okay? We know gas prices are going up. We know food prices are not coming down anytime soon. Our economy is potentially going to struggle because it is slowing. But President Biden just angered Russia again. And this right here could be, according to the Kremlin, adding fuel to the fire. So again, that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise, I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Continue to, if you like these updates, okay, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update, and I'll see you guys on the next one.